What is the most nervous you've ever been?
Everybody's watching you.
Strangest headline you ever saw about yourself?
It was just me signing a pregnant woman's belly and then a child.
Smartest football mind you've come across in your career?
A young offense coordinator named Kyle Shanahan.
What was the moment you realized, yeah, it's time to hang it up?
Oh.
Okay, guys, we're gonna call this the no huddle. So
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a couple of questions. I wanna hear from you guys. I wanna hear the best ones, so I don't have to hear from all of you, but I wanna hear from the best of you. Give you a couple questions here. So, who is the smartest football mind? Player, coach, executive, smartest football mind you've come across in your career?
Peyton Manning to me. Just defending against him. He could read coverages. He knew exactly where to go with the play. He could he would set protections. He was an offensive coordinator on the field, and defending against him was a pain because if you showed him anything, he would get into the right play and knew exactly where to go to the ball with the ball.
I had a cup of coffee with the Browns at the end of my career, and they had a young offense coordinator named Kyle Shanahan, and he just lived and breathed football and was as cool as the other side of the pillow. So that blend of being as intelligent with that high football IQ and being relatable to the players, it just worked.
I mean, I had a couple of years with Kyle too, which was
Pretty
impressive
good one.
to see.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back with kind of an old school coach that I had to play against early in my career, Jim Johnson in Philadelphia, and it was my entry into the league seeing some of these fire zone blitzes that I had never seen before. And I know he has since passed, but that was kind of a welcome to the NFL. You better be able to identify where people are coming from and get your protections right. He was always a problem early in my career to go against.
And JJ, you can't say yourself, so we can just move on.
I'll go quickly I'll go offense, defense, and a coach. I think Luke Kuechly on defense is one of the smartest around. Phillip Rivers seemed to know where every single blitz was coming from at any moment. And then playing against Sean McVay was always a difficult one because he could scheme up just about anything against anybody.
I'm really excited for the answers to this. What was the strangest headline you ever saw about yourself during your career?
For me, it was crashing my car trying to save some pizza. That was it. Enough said.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Don't have one?
I don't
That's
remember
okay.
exactly what the headline was, but I never forget this picture. So I have a charity softball game in Houston, and one year a pregnant woman asked me to sign her belly, and the next year she brought the kid, and I signed the kid's jersey.
That's
so
wild.
like I remember there was some sort of headline with both pictures side by side, and it was just me signing a pregnant woman's belly and then a child.
I thought you were gonna say you signed the kid, like Ricky
His
Bobby.
head.
Right on the head. Yeah.
No, that was a weird one.
Okay, I want to know, what is the most nervous you've ever been in your illustrious career?
Ooh, the most nervous.
Meeting Coach Cowher for the first time.
Get nervous. I think it's got to be that rookie year, right? Like that first time, going out there. At least for me, it was. You're 22 years old, 23 years old, and playing the quarterback position. You're in that locker room with guys who are 35 with like 5 kids, and you're trying to lead them and act like you're not scared to death out there. But that for me was probably the time where I was the most nervous.
I remember my rookie year as well. I was trying to find a game in my head, but I couldn't. But at practice, playing for the Minnesota Vikings, Charlie Baggett was our receivers coach, and Randy Moss, of course, was the #1 wide receiver in the league. And he gave me the nickname Dummyson because they were moving me around playing X, Z, and F, and I just was messing up like every other rookie would. So he would be like, "Hey, Dummyson, that's the wrong route again." And it was funny at first until his voice got louder and louder. And then I started thinking about it. And I remember it was split safety. I'm supposed to bend the middle, and I just kept it up the seam. And, Randy Moss is sitting in the huddle shaking his head. And Charlie Baggett, my receiver coach, calls me over. And I'm just lost in my thoughts at this point. And he says, "Hey, man, you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." And he's this close to me, and I got my helmet on. He said, "You can't mess up like that. Everybody's watching you." And I was like, "Everybody's watching me?" And I just got more and more nervous and lost in my own thoughts. I had to get out of that little funk, tap back in, and then I got my confidence back. So yeah, it was my rookie year as well.
Coach doesn't get nervous. Okay. I'm interested in this. What was the moment you realized, yeah, it's time to hang it up?
I mean, there were probably a couple times in Indy. There were probably a couple times in Indy. I was like, yeah, it's probably time. It's probably time I should hang this up. But I don't know. I think there's something as a player, though. Like, I don't think you ever really know. Like, you always still have this idea that,
some of us
you
know.
could do it. But,
Some of us kind of knew.
yeah.
Like when you're backed up and you're a backup player, and first chance I had to go back into coaching at the NFL level, I knew it was time to hang it up. So because there's a lot more future being a coach than there was being a player.
Yeah, I mean, out of you four, like 3 of you left with plenty left in the tank. Nate, I know that you didn't at all.
Yeah,
So-
you're right. It's valid. It's valid. I remember being in Cleveland, and I just felt old immediately. And then I saw Josh Gordon. This is after starting my career with Randy Moss, playing with Calvin in his prime, and then going to Cleveland right after Josh Gordon led the league in yards and catches, and he didn't play a few games. And I just thought to myself, he's too good. Like I'm not even close to being this talented as I once was. I'm not as fast, not as strong, can't jump as high. Yeah, I could be the old wily vet that takes somebody under their arm, but I'm like, nah, I might as well move out the way, open up a roster spot and start the next chapter. But you're right, it's kind of hard though.
It's
I remember
totally-
somebody told me when I retired, they said, you know, the moment you really retire, and he was specifically talking about receivers, he said the moment you really retire is when you stop saying, oh, I got a couple catches left. Because that's what I would say for like the first 3 years. I got like 3 routes left. No, I don't. These knees don't, these hips don't. I'm lying. So now when people ask me, hey, could you go out there and help out the Giants or the Jets? I'm like, no, I can't. I would hurt your team and hurt myself.
Did you ever have it?
For me, it was more when I came to the realization that no matter who you are, no matter what position you play, no matter how good you are, it comes to an end for everybody. And so it didn't matter. Like, I kept thinking, like, could I run this until the wheels absolutely fall off? Yeah. But is that what's going to make me the happiest in my life, with my family, with my body? Like, do I really want to run until the wheels fall off? And for me, coming to that realization that I was going to have to face it at some point, I would rather face it after a 12.5 sack season
That's
where
right.
I still felt good.
a little
Yeah.
sooner than too late.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
I'd
I think a
rather
lot
do
of people in Pittsburgh want your wheels to go fall off, though. I see a lot of jersey swap photos of you.
it. That's true. That's true.